Welcome back. Today we're diving deep into something that's, well, keeping a lot of people up at night. Is the classic office job, the white-collar career, actually safe anymore?
It's a huge question. For so long, the focus was always on factory floors,
All
right?
right.
Manual labor.
Exactly. But the sources we've looked at, they show the threats moved upstairs, it's in the executive suite, the admin pool, everywhere.
It really is a seismic shift. And the data we have now, it paints a pretty immediate, frankly, alarming picture. This isn't hypothetical stuff anymore.
Right.
Advanced AI is targeting knowledge work now. We're talking algorithms, not robots in the future sense. And the projections. Some suggest up to half, maybe even more, of all office jobs could face, well, significant automation or just replacement.
Half. Wow. Just
No.
hearing that number,
Yeah.
it feels designed to make you panic, doesn't it?
It's stark.
But what makes this so urgent, I think, is that it's not just future panic. Our sources say what? Like 1 in 4 jobs already feels the impact.
That's right. Already affected or changed in some way by AI adoption. And we have some really specific, kind of startling examples of that impact happening right now.
Okay, like what?
Well, look at highly technical roles. Programmers, graphic designers. Reports suggest those job postings have declined by over 50%
Wow.
just in the last 3 years.
50% in 3 years. Okay, that's not gradual change. That's a cliff.
It's a concrete shockwave, yeah. And it seems to be hitting those creative and technical sectors perhaps first or hardest initially.
Yeah, no wonder the whole debate just exploded after, what was it, late 2022 when OpenAI dropped ChatGPT on us?
Exactly. It went from theoretical coffee talk to immediate crisis management overnight.
And now you've got these two camps, right? The pessimists shouting about, societal collapse,
Mm-hmm.
and the optimists promising this golden age of productivity and creativity.
Precisely. It's very polarized. And so our mission today really is to try and cut through that noise a bit.
Right.
Let's unpack those predictions, figure out which roles seem genuinely vulnerable today, and maybe pull together the best advice for you listening. How do you adapt?
Okay, let's do it. Let's unpack. Where should we start? Maybe with the big warnings,
Yeah.
because some are coming from the very people building this tech.
Yeah, that's probably the place to start. The warnings are coming thick and fast, and they are pretty severe. One name that keeps coming up is Dario Amodei, CEO of Anthropic.
Right, Anthropic, one of the major AI labs.
Yes. And he's been quite blunt, actually, about the speed of all this. He put out a really tough prediction.
He didn't pull any punches, did he? He warned AI could wipe out, what was it, half of all entry-level white-collar jobs?
That's the one. Half of entry-level roles. So think about the traditional starting rungs in finance, law, consulting, tech.
Gone. Or drastically reduced.
Potentially, yes.
Well.
And he didn't just talk about jobs disappearing. He actually put numbers on the potential economic fallout.
Okay, what did he say?
He suggested unemployment could spike maybe to 10, even 20% in key sectors. And not in 10 years, but in the next 1 to 5 years.
1 to 5 years, 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
That's great recession-level unemployment.
But concentrated, he argued, in those white-collar professions. He used the phrase, we are right now on a disaster course towards mass job losses in tech, finance, law, consulting, and others.
Wow, a disaster course. That's
Yeah.
strong language from an industry CEO.
Very strong.
And what we see happening already kind of backs that up, right? The basic building blocks of office work are being automated.
Absolutely. Our sources confirm AI is already handling a lot of those foundational, maybe repetitive cognitive tasks. Think data entry, filing, summarizing text, general admin stuff.
And customer service too, right? Chatbots are everywhere.
Oh, definitely. Corporate customer service has seen a huge shift. Human agents being replaced by pretty sophisticated automated chatbots and virtual assistants. It's happening fast.
Okay, so this leads us to the really critical bit for anyone listening right now. The high-risk list. Which jobs are really in the crosshairs? Because it's not just basic admin anymore, is it?
No, and that's what's unsettling. It's targeting trained administrative roles, even some analytical functions. What's fascinating, if you combine the lists from our sources, is just how broad the vulnerability looks.
Right. It seems to center on roles focused on processing information, maybe more than creating new strategies from scratch.
That's a good way to put it, information processing.
Okay, let's lay it out. If we merge these lists, who's on it? Medical secretaries, communications froze.
Yes, accountants, particularly the routine processing and auditing side, payroll administrators, assistants, general office workers doing a lot of keyboard-based tasks, financial admin staff.
And it goes further, right? Goldman Research added IT programmers?
Yeah.
Which, yeah, that connects right back to that shocking 50% decline number you mentioned.
Exactly. Also, legal and paralegal admin staff, customer service reps, telemarketers, proofreaders, editors, even credit analysts.
Wait, hang on. Programmers, editors, accountants. These aren't just entry-level clerks. These are skilled jobs, roles people train years for.
Mm.
What's the common factor? Why are these specific, quite diverse jobs suddenly vulnerable?
I think the common thread is dealing with structured or semi-structured information. AI is just incredibly good and fast and cheap at processing, summarizing, comparing, analyzing data that fits into patterns.
So code,
Yeah.
legal docs, financial ledgers, customer service scripts.
Exactly. If the task involves manipulating information that's already somewhat defined, AI can often do it much more efficiently than a person.
Okay, that distinction processing existing info versus, say, novel creation or complex human interaction, that seems really key. And it sets up this great debate we talked about.
Yeah, the pessimists versus the optimists.
The pessimists, like Amadei perhaps, they see this rapid displacement, mass unemployment, maybe even societal breakdown.
They focus on the speed. They argue our institutions, our training systems, they just can't adapt fast enough if millions lose their jobs in, say, 5 years.
Right. And the optimists, they're looking at history, I guess.
They are. They argue this is just the next big technological wave, like the Industrial Revolution. Automation frees up humans. That's their core belief.
So they see a future with maybe shorter work weeks, humans focusing on creativity, complex problems, empathy. The stuff AI can't do.
That's the vision. They believe human ingenuity will always create new needs, new jobs we haven't even thought of yet.
But when you try to bridge those two views, the actual numbers get, well, messy, right?
They do. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the World Economic Forum, the WEF, they track global labor trends. They offer probably the most, let's say, nuanced forecast. They've put numbers on both sides.
Okay, so what's the WEF's take, short term?
Short term, they project AI deployment will eliminate 92 million jobs globally.
92 million. Okay, that sounds like the pessimist scenario playing out right there.
It's a huge number, absolutely. Represents a lot of disruption.
But the optimists will point to the other side of the WEF forecast, the job creation part.
Correct. Long term, the WEF also projects AI will help generate around 170 million new job opportunities worldwide.
Wow, okay. 170 million created versus 92 million lost. So statistically, nearly twice as many jobs created.
On paper, yes. A net positive in the long run.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
Yeah.
The jobs lost are concentrated, they disappear fast, they need one skill set. The new jobs are, what, long-term, maybe spread out, needing totally different skills.
That's the critical context, exactly. And we have hard evidence that companies right now seem focused on the elimination part first.
How so?
Well, another WEF survey found that 41% of employers plan to actually reduce their workforce by 2030, specifically because of AI automation.
41% are actively planning cuts. That's significant. It suggests the immediate goal is cost cutting, maybe more than innovation.
It leans that way. And Amodei, again, he offered a really interesting insight into where companies are putting their AI money today.
Oh, right, the investment split. What was that again?
He estimated it's currently about 60% going towards initiatives that create new roles or boost productivity, using AI as a tool.
Okay, 60% sounds good.
But the other 40%, that's going purely towards automation, towards job replacement.
40% is still a huge chunk aimed directly at cutting jobs.
It is. And the crucial thing he stressed, the real warning sign, was the trend. That 40% slice dedicated to automation, it's growing rapidly.
Ah, so if that balance tips further or even flips?
Then the speed of job displacement could accelerate dramatically, much faster than even those current projections suggest.
Okay, this feels like the right moment to bring in that historical perspective. Because it's easy to get swept up in the panic. Technology always causes anxiety, right?
Absolutely. We need that balance. Goldman Research actually provided some really good historical context. They remind us that historically, tech advances have almost always created more jobs than they destroyed.
We've been through huge shifts before farm to factory, factory to information work.
And we adapted each time. The specific numbers they cite are pretty powerful, too.
Yeah.
Roughly 60% of the entire U.S. workforce today is in jobs that literally didn't exist back in 1940.
60%. Wow.
And get this, 85% of all employment growth since 1940 has been directly linked to technology-driven job creation.
85%. Okay, so history suggests the system is incredibly resilient. New things come along, we find new ways to work.
That history is definitely reassuring, But
Right.
here comes that challenge again, the pace.
Right, back to Emity's warning.
Exactly. He argued this AI revolution is just fundamentally different. It's faster, broader, and harder to adapt to than past shifts. And he admitted the speed keeps surprising even the experts building it.
That feels like the core tension, doesn't it? History says we adapt, that the current tech is moving exponentially faster than anything before. Can we rely on data from 1940 when computing power doubles every, 18 months?
That's a valid question. We might create those 170 million new jobs eventually, but will they appear fast enough for the person losing their job this year?
So, if the tech train is speeding up, and maybe Amodei's right about the pace, what's the actual advice for someone listening, someone in one of those roles, the accountant, the editor, the programmer?
Well, you hinted at it earlier. If you can't stop the bus,
You learn how to drive it, or at least navigate inside it.
that's essentially Amodei's advice. It's not about fighting AI or avoiding it. It's about integration. You have to learn how to use AI effectively in your day-to-day work.
Make it a tool that boosts your own efficiency.
Precisely. The goal has to be shifting immediately from being someone replaced by AI to someone empowered by AI. You need to use it to get such massive productivity gains that you become indispensable.
So that means getting good at prompts, using LLMs in your workflow, using AI for analysis, not just accepting its first answer, becoming a power user, basically.
Yes, it's about accepting the technology is here, it's inevitable, and framing the challenge as navigation, not resistance. Amodei had that quote, didn't he? Something like.
I don't think we can stop the bus. From my position, I can perhaps do a little to steer the technology,
That's the one. It puts the onus on steering, on adapting.
which kind of puts the pressure right back on the individual worker, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Adapt or, come obsolete.
It suggests resistance is probably futile. The viable path seems to be mastering the tools that are automating parts of your job so you can focus on the higher value stuff they can't do.
Okay. So, wrapping this deep dive up,
Yeah.
where does this leave you, the listener? We've seen the huge, specific, near-term risks those programmers, accountants facing pressure right now. But we've also seen the historical precedent, the WEF numbers, suggesting long-term net job growth, almost double the jobs lost eventually created. The tension is real.
I think the key implication to really sit with is that corporate intent and the speed of change. If 41% of firms are already planning cuts and that 40% investment in pure automation is rising fast, what does that actually do to the job market in the next, say, 3 to 5 years? Even if the total number of jobs bounces back in a decade, we could be looking at a period of really significant, painful disruption first.
Right. Which brings us to maybe the final thought to leave you with. History shows we adapt 85% of job growth since 1940 was tech-driven. But if those 170 million new AI jobs do appear, they're going to need really specific, likely advanced skills.
Yeah, they won't be the same jobs we're losing.
So given Amodei's warning about the unprecedented speed this time, the question you have to ask yourself is, what percentage of today's workforce, especially those in the crosshairs right now, will actually be skilled enough or able to reskill fast enough to grab those new, highly technical roles before their old ones disappear completely?
It's not just a race between job destruction and creation anymore, is it? It feels like a race for the individual worker against the clock. And that clock, maybe for the first time, seems to be ticking exponentially faster.